will quickly start what is meant by the data model and everything. Yeah. So I had a definition here. So yes, mainly the data model. So why we will use the data model here in the sense. So whenever you start implementing any POC or any application, so it will completely depend on the data model, how you structured your data, and then how you are linking between the tables, how you are maintaining the relationship between the two tables, whether you are maintaining like one to many relationship or one to one relationship, or else many to one relationship. Yes, so we will create the data model for that, and then we will join them by using the foreign key. So each table is associated with the primary key, guys. So now for our POC, so let's see what are the fields required. So initially when we want to develop our POC, so anyone can create the meeting, right? So if they want to create a meeting, so what we required here, so we require the meeting data. Like when we see create meeting in Outlook. So whenever if you want to create a meeting in the Outlook, so here we need to provide the title. Title is nothing but the subject we can say, right, and the participants. Here start time and end time we need to provide, and the attendees. Who are the attendees and participants are required here. Like we will search and select the participants, right? So those people will receive the invite. So here we have the send option as well, and the location of the meeting, whether it is a Zoom location or else WebEx link or else Teams link, whatever it may be. So for creating a meeting, what we required here, we require the title and the participant and the meeting start time and end time and the location. So that these are the details we need to send while creating a meeting. So same here in our POC as well. We need to provide the subject, body in the sense in the agenda of the meeting we will send, right? So that we will capture in the body, and the location. Location is nothing but whether you are conducting the meeting, whether in the Zoom or WebEx or else Teams, whatever it may be, and what will be the start time and what will be the end time. So the system sends an email to the attendees informing that the meeting is scheduled. That means once we capture the details from the user, we will click on the submit, and we need to send an email to the users who are there in the participants list. Those people will receive an email with this required details called subject, body, location, and who are all the other participants, and when it is the meeting got scheduled. All these details, with all these details, they will receive an invite. So for all these things, we required a data model, guys. For constructing our POC, we definitely look into the data model. So for that, I had a data model here. So I will quickly show you what is meant by the data model here. So yes, so for meeting details. So I was deciding to configure all the meeting details in one of the meeting table, guys. So in the meeting table, I do have the primary key. So primary key is nothing but the unique row identifier, which is not holding any null values. So which uniquely identify the each row by this identifier is called the primary key, guys. So I'm adding the ID as a unique key in the meeting table, and whatever the required details. Required details is nothing but the subject, body, location, and the time, start time, and these are all the fields which I want to capture from the user. So other than these fields, if you want me to include any one of the field, I'm open for your suggestion, guys. If you want me to add any other field, I can add here. So as of now, we will go with the subject and the body, location, start time, end time, guys, and the active field, and is active, created by, and created on, modified by, modified on. So these are all fields we will call as a metadata fields. So why we will call them as a metadata fields in the sense, so these fields are five, in our hand we have the five fingers, right? So we will call them as a five thumb fields. Like for every table, these are the recommendations we need to add, because when you want to delete the meeting, instead of deleting from the database, you will simply make this row as inactive. Okay, inactive in the sense, so initially while created the meeting, this row will be is active true. See, when you are creating a meeting, so the ID column will be the auto-generated column. So auto-generated column in the sense, so based on the last row of the last ID, so it will increment that row into the next row. I mean, it will increment the row with the next ID. Okay, so that will be auto increment. So we are not going to send any value to this primary key. And subject we will pass, and body we will pass, location we will pass, start time and end time we will pass, and is active will be the true when we are creating a meeting. So those true rows we are displaying in the front end for the users, how many meetings you have scheduled so far. So like that we will show all the historical data as well in the front end. So now if you so the meeting you want you to I mean, cancel in the sense some other meeting got scheduled at the same time. So you want to decide this meeting need to postpone to tomorrow, or else cancel this meeting because this meeting doesn't required. At that time you decide, right? So simply at the time when you cancel meeting button, you have we will enable the cancel meeting button. So the user clicks on the cancel button meeting. So we will simply make this row as a false case. False in the sense this will indicate the inactive. This is nothing but the soft delete we can say. Inactive. We will make this row as a inactive. So in the front end, the users will not be able to see this, whatever the scheduled meeting row, right? That they will not receive. So this is the one of the table required for our POC. So yeah, while deciding the fields, what is required? So same time we need to decide with the data type. Data type in the sense, so as we discussed, we have primitive data types and the custom data types and the any type, map type data types, right? So we have to decide for each column what will be the data type you want to add. So now for the subject, so it will hold the text values. So we are going with the text as a data type for this column, and the body as well text for the data type column. So coming to the start time and end time, so we will need to capture both date and time as well, right? You can see here in the start time, they are scheduling the date with the time, right? So same like that, we need to add the Yes, we need to add the date and time as a data type to capture both date and time. Okay, so exact to column anyway, it is a boolean because see, if you want to make them as a true, or else if you want to make them as a false as well. Yeah, so remaining created by will be the whoever will be the created by meeting is there, right? Those people we will store under the those people names we will store under the created by column, and when they will create it, that time we will capture. So if they are modified the meeting timings, or else they have added few participants here and they decided to add few more participants. So at that time they will updating the meeting, right? So whenever they are updating second time, so we are not going to change the created by and created on. So we will store those details under the modified by and modified on. Whenever they are updating third time as well, we are replacing the already existing modified by, and we are adding a new row in the sense new column, new value in the same existing modified by. So same like that, we will store the metadata fields like that. So yeah, as of now, for the meeting table, these are the columns and the data types. So when we start working on it, when we store the data into the table, this is how the table look like, guys. In the sense, so we will store subject details, body details, location details, start time, end time, and the active row. And created by and created also by also is there. So those details we will store as a created by as a logged in user, and created on by is the now. So same like that, we will capture all the details in the meeting details, related meeting details. So here you can see we have captured everything, title, start time, end time, location, and the body here. So body as well we have captured here. So one of the field is missing here. So which is participants. So in the meeting table, you can see there is no participant column I have added. Because, why? Because of so these are all the single details, right? But coming to the participant, for each meeting, there will be a multiple participants. See, if you can see here for the meeting ID one in the attendees table, for the meeting ID, there are two rows got created. Two rows in the sense two participants are got created. Okay. So I mean, so what I want to convey here is yeah, going to worksheet, yeah. For single meeting, multiple participants are available. So this should be like one to many relationship. You can see here one to many relationship because of per single meeting there will be a multiple participants. So one to many relationship here we need to establish. For how do we will add the one to many relationship? So for single meeting ID, for single meeting ID, so we will have multiple rows in the attendees table. Okay, attendees table in the sense I am decided to create a new table for the attendees. So here we will store only the attendees details, guys. So how we will establish the connection in the sense, so the primary key in the meeting table will be the foreign key in the attendees table. So every table they have their own primary keys, so it does not related to the other table to make a relationship with the primary key. So every table they have their own primary keys, but when you make the establish the connection between two tables, so one of the table primary key will be the foreign key in the next table. So why we will make like this in the sense to establish the connection like here. See, as of our scenario, we need to make the connection like one to many relationship. So at that time only, how the table design will be there is the sense. So for each attendee, there will be each row got created, single row got created. So why? Because of so we need to think of other scenarios as well, guys. Other scenarios in the sense, see here you have added a few participants here. Okay, you have added a few participants here, and you submitted the form, and you again came to modifying the meeting. So at that time, what you will do? You will remove the already existing participants, and then you will add a new participants as well, right? So removed participant, we need to make the row as a inactive or delete the row from the backend. Instead of deleting the row, we would require soft delete. So at that time, same as we discussed, right? So here, yeah, is active is there, right? So we will make them as a false, inactive. And we will create a new row here, like, see. So as of now, for the meeting attendees table, I have taken the primary key meeting ID. Meeting ID will be the primary key of the meeting table. I am storing under the attendees table. Okay. So and then name of the attendees and their email address, whether he checked in into the meeting. Check in the sense, so as in the POC or POC, uh, one of the step. See, check-in. So system task for each attendee is automatically assigned before 10 minutes meeting start time. Automatically expire after the meeting end time. So check-in form to mark the attendees check-in time. So in the sense, so before 10 minutes in our system, we will receive the notification, right? Join the meeting or else check in the meeting or accept the meeting like that, right? So same like that. So check-in form is also there. Check-in form in the sense you want to check in into the meeting, you have to click on check in button, or else you want to check out, you can click on check out as well. So for capturing those check in details, I have added this check in field here. Okay, check in field here to capture the each attendees whether they have clicked on check in or not. Okay, so this is how we will capture the check-in details and the feedback details. So feedback in the sense when the meeting is done, you want to capture the meeting feedback from the user. We will send a form to the user as a task to provide the feedback. So for this as well, we have added the column. And then the continuous columns are metadata columns. Metadata columns in the sense five fingers right in a hand. Like is active, created by, created on, modified by, and modified on. So for every table, we will maintain these fields as a metadata fields. So now here, when you want to see the table structure after you designed, so this is how the table structure will be available, guys. So primary key will be the auto-generated column. So it will be the unique for each row. But coming to the meeting ID, so we have created the meeting one here. So for that meeting one, we have the ID one. So for that ID one, so we have the few participants. Few in the sense two participants are there. So those two participant details I am successfully storing in this table. He checked in and feedback is not provided as of now, and active is the true. So this is how we will create the multiple rows. So when you pass meeting ID 1, so in the meeting table you will receive the all the meeting details, and in the attendees table you will receive the two rows. In the sense two participants details you will receive when we pass the meeting ID as a one filter for the meeting ID column filter you applied meeting ID 1, you will receive the two rows, in the sense two participant details. Okay, so this is how we will make the data model, guys. Data model, this is nothing but the data model we have designed as per our POC by adding the types as well. Okay, guys, do you have any queries on relationship and how we will take the fields and why we will take the fields? Yeah, Pranali, are you there?
No.
No, are you good with this data model, right? Why I am creating the two tables and what are the columns I have taken? Why I have taken these columns?
Yes.
Yeah. So for our POC implementation, only I have taken these two fields. So I will add these metadata fields in our sheet for our reference. Yeah. So now we have created the data model, guys. So in our APN, if you want to build this data model into the APN, so we need to decide whether you want to develop your application with the CDT centric approach. I mean, there are two types of approaches we need to follow while developing an application, guys. One is CDT centric approach, another one is the record centric approach. Okay, so CDT centric approach and the record centric approach. So I will show you those objects here. See, this is our application, guys. When you click on the new here, see in the new you can able to see the data type which is nothing but the CDT. Okay, and the data store as well we are having data store which usually so we will go with the definitions each and everyone. So yeah. So I will explain CDT, what is meant by the CDT first, and then data store and the record type. Then you will get the more idea on the these three objects. Okay. So now going back to our objects and yeah. Okay. CDT. CDT is nothing but the custom data type, guys. Okay. So custom data type we can say. So it was helpful for the temporary purpose. Okay. Temporary purpose uh, like temporary purpose in the sense for helping the users to carry the data, guys, for helping the users to carry the data, and it is nothing but the data containers, guys. I can say these are all called as a data containers. Why I will call the data containers, I will show you now. So we have created our data model, right? So for each of the field we have the each one for every field there will be a data type, right? So we will create all these fields and all these data types in a CDT structure. CDT structure in the sense we are capturing multiple fields and their data types in a one place. called custom data type, guys. So we are capturing all the inputs from the user into one rule input. So as of now, we have seen, right, in the expression rule. So for passing the integer values, I have created one rule input. And for passing the text values, I have created one more rule input. I have declared uh, each rule input with the each data type, right? So now in the custom data type, we will add all the fields at one place, and for each field we will add the data type as well. So we will create a single rule input for all the fields as a CDT. So now what will happen? So we it is nothing but the we will hold all the values in a single place, and we will carry the data to the database. Like that, we will use the CDT. And also we can say this as the integration payloads as well, guys. So I will explain this while discussing about the integration object. So no need to worry. So payloads in the sense we are using this CDT as a inputs parameter input values to the integration. In the sense in the integration we have the request body. So for that request body we will pass the data through the CDT while using by using the CDT. We will pass the data. Okay. Coming to the data store which is nothing but the object. So once you're done with the CDT creation, so you need to establish the connection between the Appian. If you want to establish connection between Appian and external data source, we will connect through the data store object. We will connect data store object. Okay. So in the sense, so here, what will happen in the sense? So we will publish the CDTs, guys. CDTs is nothing but entities. We will call them. We will call them as an entity in the data store object. So we will publish the CDTs in the data store object. So it will create a tables in the data source wherever the whatever the source we have configured, right? That source, we will. We will create a tables in that source by using the data store. So now when we pass the data through the CDT, what will happen? It will insert the data. It will store the data in the data source itself. So this is the main agenda of the data store. It is nothing but to publish the entities and make the connection establishment between Appian and the external data source. Okay. So now coming to the record type. Record type is the record type is nothing but logical grouping, guys. Logical grouping of related information. So I will show you practically once it is done. You need to worry. So yes. So logical grouping of related information having the record list. So now, no need to confuse here. So, so using the record types, what we can do is we can create our own data model in the record type itself, or else you can connect it to the external data source as well. Okay, multiple data sources you can connect. No need to worry, and it will provide the multiple options like row level security, actions, filters, and few sync options as well. Okay. So it will support for multiple related level relationships as well, like multiple level relationships in the sense we can establish the connection between the two record types, like one to one, one to many, many to one. Like that, we can establish the connection. CDTs as well, we can configure the nested CDTs, but there will be a few drawbacks as well. So we will discuss once it is while we are creating. Okay. So mainly we will use the record type to configure the data model, or else if you want to connect to the external data source, you can configure. Okay. So now quickly go to the creation of the record type, guys, and then we will create the CDT as well, and we will publish them in the data store as well, because we have already designed our data model, right? So this is our data model. For this data models, we will create the sources in the record type. So I want so in this POC, I will simultaneously develop the POC using the record types as well as the CDTs as well, guys. Okay. So T4 meeting, I'm creating the record type. Now I'm creating the T4 meeting. So simply I selected the record type and created the meeting. So now it will ask for the security. Yeah, see. So basic users must have viewer level permission. See, so we have to configure the record level object level security, guys. This is object level security. Okay. This is nothing but the object level security in the sense for the object we are providing the security. Okay. For T4 administrators, I am providing the administrator permission. For T4 users, I am providing the viewer permission. Okay. Other than the administrator and viewer, we have the editor permission level is also there. Data steward permission is also there. Editor is nothing but these part of the users can edit few options. Okay. Administrator can delete the object as well. Okay. So like that, we had a different options for based on the permission levels. Okay. So as of now, we will go with these two permission levels. So when I save the record type, so the object will get created into our application. Record type object will get created into our application. So we'll discuss each and every option in the record type. Now we are landing into the record type page. So this is how the record type will the landing page will appear, guys. Okay. So here there are initially there are only two pages are available. One is the data model, another one is the monitoring tab. Monitoring tab in the sense in the monitoring tab you can able to see the performance of the record type. As of now we have not configured anything, right? So we can't able to see the performance here. Okay. So now we are on the data tab. Data tab, under the data tab, we have the data model. Data model in the sense. So yeah, tell us about your data. How do you want to manage it, the data? So we need to configure the data source here. Okay. So for configuring the data source, what we need to do, we have to click on this tell us about our data. So whenever you click on this tell us about our data, so what will happen in the sense? See, it will ask for the select the data source type. Data source. What will be the source of your data? Whether it is the database source or else process backup record or else web service backup record. So I will explain the data sources, guys. So what is these three options and what is meant by these three options? Okay. So now quickly go to our here. Yeah. So in the record type, we can create the record type in four ways, guys. Okay. Here you can see one is the way is database type of record. So we can create the record type in four ways. So in interview also they will ask this question, guys. In how many ways we can create a record type? We can create record type in four ways. First one is the database, which is nothing but entity backed record. I will show you once we created the CDT. So we will create a entity backed record. Source is a database table. I mean, so for the database selected source type, we need to provide the entity. So we will call them as entity backed record. Source for that source is nothing but the database table. We will provide there. Source is nothing but the database table. Every entity in the every row in the sense this is what, guys. So this is called as a row. This is the first row. This is the second row, and this is the third row, fourth row, fifth row in the table. So every row in the table will be the record list item. Record list item I will show you, no need to worry. Yeah. So coming to the second data type, we have what we have second after the database, we have process. So process in the sense we will call them as a process backed record, guys. Okay. We will call them as a process backed record. Why we will call them as a process backed record in the sense source is the process model, guys. So source is the process model. Process model in the sense, see whenever you click on the new, here you can able to see process model object is available, right? So for this process model as well, we can create the record type as a source. Okay. So every instance, so when we trigger the process model, there will be an instance got triggered in the backend. So every instance in the process model will be the record list item. Every instance in the process model will be the record list item. So coming to the third type, which is nothing but web service backend record, guys. Web service backend record type. Web service in the sense, so if you want to configure the external URL data into the record type as a source, we will go with the web service. The source is the external system. Okay. Source is the external system. Sorry, source here I have to mention. Source is the external system. Web service backend record, we will call them as a web service. So this is the naming conventions, guys. Web service backend record. Web service backend record. So every list item in the uh, external URL will be the record list item. Okay. Coming to the fourth one. So fourth one is nothing but Salesforce, guys. Salesforce backend record type. Okay. Salesforce backend record type. So source is the Salesforce. Salesforce source data we will can fetch. Source is the Salesforce. Okay. So these are the four types of record types are there. So as of now, so we don't have all these. So we will create each source record type into our application. You don't need to worry. So these are the sources available for the record type we can create. So we can select the data source shortcut as well. In the sense, so I will explain you how these will appear here. So when creating the connected system, we can add the shortcut to be appear in the record type while configuring the data source. So that's why these options are available here to select the source for the record type. Okay. So yeah, we had a different approach as well. So either you can select the existing source as well, or else you can create database tables auto-generated and data will be synced. In the sense, so I will show you. So now I want to create from scratch, guys. I don't want to select any one of the existing data source. I want to go with the scratch. Scratch in the sense we will create our own tables into the source. Source in the sense uh, database. See here, when you want to create your own tables into your data source, you need to select the data source. Data source is nothing but choose one of the PostgreSQL or MariaDB data options. So here you can see in our environment. So whatever the environment I'm using, right? So this is the Appian cloud.com. Cloud.com in the sense it is the cloud environment, guys. So for this cloud environment, we can see the inbuilt cloud database got connected here. So when you click on this nine dots here, why it is, yeah, nine dots here. I have clicked it, guys, but I don't know why it is taking this much of time. These nine dots, I have clicked it, but it is not. Yeah, see here when I click on nine dots, you can see the cloud database option. It is popping up, right? So you can select this now. When you select that cloud database option, you can see the inbuilt data source got connected into this environment. We can able to see here. So these are all the different schemas here. So I want to explain here. This is the data source for this environment they have connected. So I can select this here. So whenever I select the JDBC by slash APN, so in the sense this is our inbuilt connected data source. So where they have configured this data source in the sense, you can ask me directly. So where they have configured this data source in the sense, so when you go to the admin console of this environment, so you can see one of the admin console option called data source configuration option. So I will show you quickly. So here, yeah, here you can see under the yeah, under the integration in the sense when you want to connect with the third party system or external system, we will connect through the integration itself. Okay, so that's why they have added this option under the integration itself. So in the integration, you can see the third option called data sources. So in the data sources, you can see multiple data sources got connected here, right? So in this one of the data source, JDBC/Appian is the sense. See, this is the one, I guess. So they have connected this data source here. So that's why we can able to see here under this data source options. So otherwise we can't able to see this. So how do we will configure? If you want to configure a new data source, you have to click on this new data source option, and you need to provide the JDBC name and the username and password for that, and the type of the data source you want to connect. If you want to connect to MariaDB, so you need to provide the connection string. MariaDB console will not be supported in future versions of Appian. See, to support an Aurora MySQL. So for the upcoming releases, they are showing this warning: slowly migrate your MariaDB into our different data source, like that they are mentioning. So all these details we can get from the database team, guys. You don't need to worry. So when creating a schema or else when they established any database, so there itself we can able to get these details. Okay. Once you're done with the connection, you can click on this test connection to check whether your connection is got established securely or not. So once you successfully add this data source here, so when you come to here, you can able to select the data source here. So these are all the data sources which got configured in the here only. Okay, those data sources, one of the data sources slash Appian. So why I have selected Appian in the sense, see here, this is the Appian schema we have, right? So I want to store the tables and create the tables under this schema. So now I have to select the schema as well. So now select the schema option. I